Ministro das Finanças de Ontário, Bethenfalvy, também apresentou o budget de 2021 da província aos média étnicos canadianos. Eu marquei presença na conferência virtual e tive a oportunidade de falar diretamente com o Ministro. Ora, veja.
Welcome everybody and thank you, Maria, for bringing this group of reporters together to talk about the Ontario 21 budget. Again, I want to thank Stan and Aris for their leadership. And they're incredible individuals and serving their communities, serving the public, and serving this province. So thank you very much, Aris, and thank you, Stan. In terms of our plan, yesterday what I tabled was the pandemic. As the pandemic's unfolding, we've been very clear about two vital priorities for the province. First and foremost, the province, the people of this great province expect us to protect everyone's health. And second, they expect us to protect the economy. And that's what our budget did yesterday. Ontario's total response to COVID-19 is now $51 billion. As I mentioned, the number one focus since a year ago, March, has been to do whatever it takes to keep the people of Ontario safe. So within this 2021 budget, we bring the total government investment to protect people's health to $16.3 billion. And here are some of the highlights. It starts with $1 billion of investments in vaccines. And this is our top priority, full stop. While vaccines are rolling out, our government is making new investments to ramp up testing, accelerating our longstanding work to build, expand, and improve hospitals across the province over the next 10 years. And what happened in long-term care homes during the pandemic exposed a tragedy that we inherited and was decades in the making. And I think we can all agree on that. So that lack of action stops with us. We're acting to protect our loved ones in long-term care from the deadly COVID-19 virus. Our government is making further investments to prevent the spread of the virus, build new beds across the province, increase quality of care by ensuring residents receive an average of 4 hours of direct care per day, and accelerate the training of personal support workers. The second pillar of our plan is to build on the significant supports for families, workers, and employers in Ontario. The 2021 budget brings the total investment to protect Ontario's economy by the Government of Ontario to $23.3 billion. Our government is making childcare more accessible and affordable through direct and meaningful relief that put more money in parents' pockets and provide parents with flexibility. We're creating jobs in skilled trades while helping workers explore opportunities in a new industry with the proposed temporary Ontario Jobs Training Tax Credit for 2021. And in January, to help small businesses face additional expenses and more pressure, we announced the Ontario Small Business Support Grant for employers affected by the province-wide shutdown. And yesterday, we announced a second payment of the Ontario Small Business Support Grant. So along with the new Ontario Tourism and Hospitality Small Business Support Grant, these targeted measures specifically focus on some of the hardest hit businesses, including hotels, overnight summer camps, and amusement parks. So in conclusion, as the Minister of Finance and as the President of the Treasury Board, my job is to ensure we make every resource available to win our battle against the virus. And we have, and we will win. We'll defeat this pandemic. This budget is making good on our commitment to do whatever it takes to keep people safe while building on the foundation to create the growth we need for a strong economy. In the coming months, as vaccinations are rolled out and we turn the corner on the pandemic, our government will build on our plan to create strong economic growth. Our recovery will be built on a strong foundation for growth, not cuts or tax hikes. Hope is on the horizon. It's months, not years away. And then, until then, we will maintain our unwavering commitment to protect people's health and their job. And I'd be pleased to take any questions. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Minister Bethenfalvy and everyone joining the panel today. Teresa Santos here from Correio da Manhã, Canada. So before my question, I would like to say happy Greek Independence Day to all Greek media and parties here today. And I would also like to
take this opportunity to mark the International Day of Remembrance from the Victims of Slavery and the Transatlantic Slave Trade, which is something very personal to me as well. So back to the question, a lot of our Portuguese Canadian small businesses are oriented to the food and construction sector, which is very common. And what kind of support for the safe reopening of these companies will be given in the new 2021-22 budget, please? Thank you.
Well, thank you, Teresa, and thank you for flagging those incredible, monumental days, and particularly the Greek Day and the Anti-Slavery Day. Those are very impactful, so thank you for mentioning that. You know, on the Ontario Small Business Grant is designed to support a lot of business. In fact, over 100,000 small businesses in Ontario have applied for the grant and successfully received money. We expect it by the time that we close it on March 31st, that 120,000 businesses will have applied successfully for the grant. And of course, we're doubling. So that's between 10 and 20,000. So that means 20 to 40,000. And this is unconditional money. And those are targeted at those who were most affected by the lockdown, where they couldn't operate or were severely restricted. A lot of personal service businesses, a lot of restaurants, a lot of retail organizations that could not sell anything or very restricted. Now we've gone a step further, and for those who are even harder hit, they were able to remain open but have suffered. The tourism industry, the hospitality industry, the accommodation industry. There are many that they could remain open or at least provide some level of service, but with COVID, there are no customers. So we're increasing to an additional $400 million of supports for that sector. And I think by and large, our plan has been to help as many small businesses, restaurants, personal service workers, or personal service organizations, you know, like barbers, hairdressers. Now, the construction industry, I know not everyone has been able to remain open during the pandemic, but we have allowed for a lot of construction to remain open, which has allowed our economy and the jobs to continue. And we know, Teresa, we're going to continue trying to support as best we can the small businesses of this province.
All right, thank you so much, Minister Bethenfalvy. Thank you, Marie, and thank you, Shannon, as well.
Thank you, Teresa.